professional wrestling fans, new and old, to the PW Fan. The PW Fan is a pro wrestling podcast created by fans for the fans. And thank you for joining us. This is episode 69. I'm your host, your grumpy old school wrestling fan, collector, barber, and musician, Talk Wrestling, Tim Gilbert.
And I'm your host, the architect. For those that's just listening, I'm wearing our new architect shirt. The architect, Funko Pop collector, Andy.
Booker Andy.
Booker Andy. It's new, okay? I got to get used to saying it.
Booker Andy.
I'm also your host, the No Selling Listening Indie fan and football lover, Jeremy.
So normally we start this show, we have a lot of fun, we joke around and stuff, and a lot of banter, but we unfortunately lost Jay Briscoe. His real name is Jermaine Pugh, and he died, Andy, you said January 17th?
Yes, last Tuesday.
He was either taking his kids, his two daughters were with him. They were on a backcountry road in Delaware. It was also, it's like right near Maryland too, like the Maryland line. But unfortunately, somebody crossed over into their lane on a backcountry road and hit him head on. And Jay Briscoe was unfortunately killed. And the woman driver of the other vehicle was also killed. And his two daughters were severely injured, and one has had to even undergo some sort of back surgery. So, it's a very sad situation. It's really, I think it's pretty much affected everybody in wrestling. And there's, I'm not gonna bring up something in particular about the Briscoes that it's pointless. If you want to know about any Briscoe controversy, you can just get on Google and look that up, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So it's been pretty much noted that this guy was beloved by everybody and respected by everybody, no matter your skin color, your sexual orientation, your gender. He was loved by all, and it's a very sad thing. So we just wanted to start off by saying that we send our condolences to his family and, his wife. Hope his kids, get through this. It's so sad. And, his poor brother, I can't imagine how he feels. So, I know that we're going to have to kind of pivot from here, but, the format today, the reason why I started with this is the format today, we're going to be talking about, Jay Briscoe, which we just covered, and then we'll get into Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and The Rock, which is obviously going to be a lighter, more fun topic. But this show is dedicated to him today. I just want to say at the top of the show. I guess.
Also, I'll just say too, Tim, about the Briscoes and especially Jay. The few times that I've seen him, because I haven't really watched Ring of Honor that closely as before, I guess a few years ago, but I know Briscoes and FTR, I think all those matches they've had were my favorite tag team matches, in wrestling, for me at least. And because they I don't know, every single time they put on a show, it was crazy.
If you want to plug the shirt for Jay Briscoe and the proceeds.
Yeah, I ordered it an hour before, and I just wanted to see what it was. But if you go to shop, I believe it's Shop Ring of Honor, but I know that's just a code for, go to ProWrestlingTees.com, go under the ROH page, it's going to pop right up, it's on their homepage, all proceeds go to his family. I just ordered one. I'm excited and proud to wear it. So, yeah, it's a shirt that I wish I didn't have to have, but yeah, man, super sad. It's just amazing the amount. I think there's two things I want to say before we move on. I don't want to go on and on about it, but WWE gave him 2 shout-outs. And one was on the air, and then they did, I believe that they did another one, and then all the wrestlers wore, not all of them, but a lot of wrestlers wore armbands with his name. And then in AEW, and this is the other thing I wanted to cover. In AEW, wrestlers wore the armband. They gave him a dedication graphic at the beginning of the show, and then afterwards they shot a Ring of Honor show tribute to Jay Briscoe that I'm sure we'll see at some point. All right, now I just wanted to get on one thing. There's some. I'm gonna, you know what? Because of the situation, I'm just gonna say this. There's a person who works at TBS. I don't know who they are. I think every podcast has talked about this, from Meltzer to everybody, who, for whatever reason, because Jay Briscoe, when he was in his early 20s, was basically, like, brainwashed by, like, hardcore Christianity, you know, he said some ignorant stuff. That was definitely inexcusable, and it was ignorant. He spent years apologizing, made the effort to learn, and even befriended people, you know. Again, I don't want to get into anything like that because that's not the point of this, but he befriended people who were gay, and there's gay wrestlers who, after he's passed, said he was a great guy and accepting of them. So there's some guy or woman who works at TBS that wouldn't let AEW put any footage of Jay Briscoe wrestling during Dynamite. They were gonna show, you know, it's a dedication show. They're gonna show stuff of Ring of Honor. They own that footage, and they won't let him. But Dana White, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, smacks his wife, and then he's on a TV show of people giving each other concussions, which we'll go on that rant later. That is seriously the stupidest TV show I've ever seen. It's disgusting to me. I don't know. But that's fine. So they'll put him on there. But they're like, you know, this guy who's a great person and never did anything, like, wrong except for one time said something stupid. It's like, wow, you seriously can't let a couple of videos be up there? I don't know, man. What do you guys think about that? Did you guys hear about this?
Yeah, that's something I would like. Even the whole time that they said AEW or TBS wouldn't allow the Briscoes on TV for that reason. Even way before, like when after AEW or Tony Khan acquired ROH. I don't know. It was like, I think at some point it's like, come on, like that's, like you said, he was like basically brought up in that kind of thinking and everything.
There's a quote where somebody asked him about it, and he said, I was going hard for the Lord back then, and he regretted saying that.
Yeah. And also, if anyone knows about the Briscoes, like upbringing and like their past and everything, it's like, it's not, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a surprise, but it's just kind of like some people just are brought up in that situation, and then they actually learn about like or say exposed to everything else then and learn.
I feel like we need to get to a point where we let people, you know, depending on what it is, you know, there's like some stuff, I'm not even going to say it, where it's obviously like, okay, no, unforgivable. But, you know, if someone goes out of their way to learn and say, I want to change, I'm sorry, you know, I am genuinely sorry. I have a track record where I'm a good human being. This is my only fuck up. Like, can I, like, make an effort to make it better? Like, I don't get why that person has to have their entire life ruined. I don't know. After a while, that stuff just gets, like...
Yeah.
The fact that he made depending on what it is. There's some stuff that you're like, you know, dude, that's just too gnarly. Like, too disgusting or whatever. But... So disappointing, so terrible, so sad.
Were the Briscoes, at the time of his passing, the ROH Tag Team Champions?
Yep. Yeah, they just beat FTR in the dog collar match.
Jesus. And have we heard
anyone
anything
hasn't seen that match too? You should probably go see that match.
Have we heard anything, like any statement or anything from Jay's brother?
No, I don't think we'll hear anything from them. So, you know, I read a bunch of stuff. I just want to say I also met them at BWI Airport in Baltimore, and I hate flying, so I was actually drinking like a Jack and Coke at like 10:30 in the morning at a bar, and because it's the only way I can like mentally do it. I feel Cornette's pain on that, and so I'm sitting there and I see these two guys walking like out of a terminal like in the distance, and I'm like thinking to myself, I was like, "Oh, those guys look like wrestlers." And I'm looking like a total like mark. I got like an AJ Styles hat on and like a Bullet Club shirt, you know, because I hate flying and I'm like very much like a person of comfort. And if I like have stuff on like that, like distract, it makes me think about wrestling and not, you know. I think somebody out there will understand. It's like a comfort thing. So I'm sitting there, you know, looking like I'm at a WWE show, and like all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, it's the Briscoes, and I was slightly intoxicated enough to say, yo, Briscoes, and then, which in retrospect is crazy because those guys would whoop my ass, but apparently not. Apparently they're very sweet. So I said, yo, Briscoes. I was like, can I get a picture with you real quick? And seriously, it was so funny. It was like they were doing a promo. They like both looked at each other real quick, like giving each other like, should we? And then at the same time, they both give like the nod, like, all right, let's go. And then, like, it was so funny. They, like, both did the same head motion at the same time. And then,
that's funny.
Dude, we just took a quick selfie, and then they fist bumped me, and I said, thank you for their time, and they said, bless you, bro, and then they left. And they were super nice, dude. I was, like, you know, it makes me really sad thinking about it. But
Is Jay's daughter still in the hospital, or what's the
yeah.
update with her?
Yeah, the last
Is she
I
still
heard,
in critical condition?
I heard both of them are.
Okay. I know one was in critical condition, but I don't know if she became stable.
We will, you know, again, this is a story. Normally, look, I say again, you know, this podcast is for fun. Like, we're not journalists. Like, we, you know, this isn't how we make a living. So that's why it's the PW fan. We're just fans, you know, shooting the shit about pro wrestling. And we might get our facts wrong from time to time, and then, you know, if we find out, we'll come back and correct it. But here's the thing, like, for something like this, it is very sensitive. So I would like to get the correct information. If anything that we're saying this week is incorrect, we will do a follow-up, I promise, next week with the updated and most factual information we can find. So as far as I know, both of them are in critical condition, and yeah, dude, it just sucks.
Well, let's switch the gears and get on a lighter note.
So yeah, I mean, there's other stuff going on in wrestling. The Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn saga continues, and then we're going to talk about The Rock. So Andy, our usual stuff. Let's get on a lighter note. I'm going to pass it to you now, and let's try to switch the energy as much as we can. But I just want to say real quick, there is no classic show of the week this week. The classic shows of the week are get on YouTube, go on something, watch some Briscoe matches, watch Jay Briscoe wrestling. You will
Jay
love
Briscoe
it.
was a ROH World Champion, unlike his brother, I believe.
Andy's like, unlike his idiot.
Well, I saw like a promo with them two, like together, and they were like, "How many?" They were like, "How many do you got?" And he's like, "What about singles titles?" And he's like, "It was like a."
No, that's when they did the. They had to go.
Yeah.
That's when they had to go into the barn and they had to fight it out. There was a whole show. Okay, but anyway, go back and watch Jay Briscoe matches.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, AEW filmed that ROH show in tribute to him after Rampage when they taped that on Wednesday, and they're releasing it on YouTube as well, like for free and everything. So
okay, so I
behind the paywall. That's good.
Yeah, I said I guess we'll see it at some point, but no, I guess we really will. Like, if it's going to be up for free on YouTube, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
So, like Tim said, we're going to get into Raw, and eventually, you know, we'll talk about Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns, and then we'll end on the news that's going on right now with The Rock. So let's talk about Raw. Raw this week opened up with the Usos and Solo Sikoa. They cut a promo about the Judgment Day, who they have a match with, actually right now as we're recording this, but we'll talk about it next week. It's for the Raw 30. And so it's a match for the Raw tag titles. They don't seem to put up both at a time. They only put up lately whatever show they're defending it on.
Yeah.
So after cutting the promos and the Judgment Day had come out there, Mustafa Ali attacked Solo Sikoa, and this would lead to a match with them two. And I don't think it's no secret. Solo Sikoa beat Mustafa Ali. After that, we had a segment with Bayley. Well, not right after, but we had a segment with Bayley and Becky Lynch, where Bayley agreed to face Becky Lynch inside of a steel cage at this week's Raw 30th anniversary show, which I'm wondering if that's tonight's main event or not, but I would assume because it's a steel cage.
I think it is. Yeah.
Then we had a segment with Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair. If I'm not mistaken, the two brawled a little bit. It led to a fight, but I'm not 100% sure.
Is this the one where Alexa Bliss saw all those people wearing the masks, right?
I think so.
In the crowd.
Probably. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do they have a match at the Royal Rumble? Because they don't have a match tonight at this Raw anniversary show. So
yeah, I don't know if it's official yet.
If you're listening, the Royal Rumble is this Saturday, the 28th. So
yeah,
at least me and Tim will be watching together and possibly watching over like a Zoom like thing with Jeremy.
Yeah, we know nobody cares, but we're going out to a podcast dinner. We're gonna have delicious food. Shout out to Himalayan Grill in Lancaster.
But our main event overall was a U.S. title #1 contender.
If you want to know where I got these muffins, I got them at the Himalayan Grill in Lancaster.
So the main event of Raw was a U.S. title #1 contenders match, 6-man elimination match. It was Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, The Miz, and Dolph Ziggler. It came down to, I believe, Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley, and the winner was Bobby Lashley. So tonight at Raw 30th anniversary, we're going to have Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the U.S. title. But that wrapped up Raw. You guys got anything you wanted to add before we move on?
I'm just curious to see what Seth Rollins is going to do.
What, if he'll come out or interfere?
Anything, because he doesn't have anything right now, does he?
I will say the last 2 weeks, even right now, I'm still bought in. I'm still enjoying Raw, and I guess I haven't seen anything yet. I know they're saying
Smackdown's better.
I don't. I mean, I agree. But I've been enjoying both shows. I always watch Smack. I watch Raw.
The new year, AEW's been really good.
Yeah. I kind of hate their thing that they're doing where, so like WWE actually has like LED lights, and then like Dynamite has like fake LED lights like on the side of the ring. I'm like, that's kind of whack. Like,
on the side of the ring, yeah.
Yeah, like you know how like
theirs are just like posters that look like they're neon or like LEDs.
Tony has the money. Tony could shell out the money.
Hey, we'll check back next week, but I wonder if something's going to happen to the ring tonight because I just noticed that the Raw ring has no LEDs, no.
It's because of the steel cage.
Oh yeah, I just saw it up there. Never mind. Yeah, see.
Yeah.
Anytime the Raw's not
actually,
I like it regular too.
I like it better like that.
Yeah, it is very.
I like it better without all of the LED
well, it's old
screens
school.
everywhere. Yeah,
that's the way it works. Back in my day.
That's what it. Oh, dude, I'm like, what am I? I'm such an idiot. I'm like, what am I talking about here? No wonder they're like they're combining like all the eras.
Yeah.
Oh, I just noticed that too. Like the apron and then the side of the barricade.
Yeah, the different logos and
everything. Now, I wish they opened up with the Ruthless Aggression era Raw opening like they had posted on Instagram, but
I know
they didn't. So I think
Makes
they
me
just had like
so
a
mad.
montage of over the years, which they showed Jericho in that.
There's been
Yeah.
some the two best. The best Ross theme song is the one from 2002. Let's get it on. That's the best one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's been some really bad ones over the years. The one that's like, it's what was the Nickelback one? It was like,
Oh, yeah.
Back one.
dude, Andy,
From
when
like 2010 to 2015, it was awful.
Andy,
That's
when
why I
you
wasn't
weren't
watching.
during the PG era, it was Nickelback is like, we're gonna sing now, here now, we're gonna sing now. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my god.
That's the clip of the week right there.
Yeah.
Tim's impression.
We're going
Well,
in
let's get
tonight.
into Dynamite. Before Tim goes off and does a concert, let's get into Dynamite. Dynamite opened up with a championship match, All Atlantic Championship, Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Winner was Orange Cassidy. We had match was good. We had Danhausen dressed as an usher, and
That's my favorite part.
he was
He
demanding
grabs Jeff Jarrett's guitar.
Yeah, he was demanding to see Jeff Jarrett and Satnam Singh's tickets. And then the best friends, came up with beers and they scooched in the front row. And
Dude, Danhausen just put up a video the other day of him drinking coffee, and he spit it out, and he said, "What the fuck? This burns." And then I wrote in the comments, I was like, "Bruh, what the fuck?" I said, "Bruh, no swearing. What the fuck?"
Yeah, no swearing.
well, what the fuck? No swear. Jay Lethal wore an armband with Briscoe written on it during the match. I noticed.
Yeah, I
But
think most of the
as Jeremy said, Danhausen intercepted a guitar shot from Jarrett to
Yeah.
Jay Lethal.
And then Danhausen plays it real
From
quick.
Jeff Jarrett.
Then we had the Young Bucks versus Top Flight. This was a very good match. I mean, if you've seen Top Flight before, because most likely you've seen the Young Bucks before and not Top Flight. So if you don't know who they are, this match, just from the pairing, you could probably tell it was going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I believe the Young Bucks, at least Nick Jackson, pointed up and said, "Love you, Jay," and I think he said it either at the
They
top of the
even
ramp.
did a tag team move, the Briscoes.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have noticed that
It's
because
so sad.
yeah.
It's just like sucks. And I haven't seen people this bummed about a wrestler dying since like Eddie Guerrero, honestly. And there's been a lot of wrestlers that have passed. That's not disrespectful to
I'd
them.
say
It's
Brody
just-
Lee.
Yeah, I was going to say Brody
Oh
Lee.
man,
was
I'm
really
so
crazy.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, Brody Lee. That one was tough too. That's a sad one.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they're
there
all
hasn't been that many wrestlers that were still active that have passed away in recent years.
Yeah, kind of like that died all of a sudden.
Yeah, the Brody Lee one, man. That one, yeah. Gosh.
But so yeah, Young Bucks versus Top Flight, very good match. Surprisingly, Top Flight won. I just wasn't expecting it. You got the Young Bucks out there who are champions, they're the trios champions, and they end up losing.
That's probably why they lost, because it's not a trios.
But Dante Martin, I'm sorry, I don't remember his brother's name because Dante's been on TV basically all of these years, and his brother keeps getting
His brother's
hurt.
been hurt for like 3 years. How
Oh.
before?
But maybe he hasn't been hurt for Darius. That's right.
There it is.
But maybe he has,
Double D.
He's been uninjured for long enough to where they're like, maybe we could start pushing them.
Uninjured. Yeah.
I think that's like if this was like 2001, that's what they should do. It should be, Darius and Dante, and they're Double D, and then they have like a valet come out who has like giant breasts. that's how they would have.
Yeah,
that's
that
how
was
they would've-
2001.
Tim says that and didn't want me to say anything about 69th episode.
Yeah, not in the beginning when we're talking about something serious.
Now we can make the jokes.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it's
we had
much
a Gun
lighter
Club
now.
segment.
We're here to entertain the people. The people.
The Acclaim came out and they interrupted a promo from the Guns, the Ass Boys, which led to a brawl between them. And Daddy Ass got in the middle of it. He tossed Max Caster aside, and then
Think about
tossed,
it though. Think about this.
One of his own.
I can't say giant breasts, but you just are like, you're like, so Daddy Ass came out, and I'm like, why isn't?
I didn't.
Why are we so
say
different?
it. I didn't say you couldn't say it. I just said you said I couldn't say something. And I was like, you're out here.
Not in the
things.
opening.
No swearing.
No swearing.
So the Acclaim interrupted a promo from the Guns, and it led to a brawl, which Daddy Ass, Billy Gunn, tossed Max Caster aside and then tossed one of his own sons. Well, I think before that, the Gun Club said that they made the Acclaimed, and they said, we even gave you our dad.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
And then, so after he tossed them off each other, Billy Gunn said he has 2 words for them, and everyone's yelled, suck it. And he was like, family therapy.
Family therapy.
So I guess that's the
That was such
segment
an
for
awkward
this
ending.
week's. Yeah.
People
I guess
were
it's,
like, what?
Yeah, everyone's like, no.
Then we had a backstage segment with Hangman and Adam Page and Renee Paquette. This was kind of awkward in my opinion, but
It was so awkward.
It was so
I don't know,
awkward,
they
and they were like trying to like blur the lines and like, but then also going back into like kayfabe. I was like, I don't know. I was like, this.
what's like
yeah, they tried to do that,
something that like John said something nice about Hangman, and he's like, did he say that? And he's like, then he basically was like, you tell him, and then told him something shitty.
That had nothing to do. Yeah, it had nothing to do with what he just said.
And then he was like,
Yeah.
you know what? Actually, you tell him. And he's like, never mind. And then awkwardly walked away. She's like,
Yeah.
okay. It's like, what?
Renee's like, what is happening?
He's like,
We had Bryan Danielson versus Bandito.
I love this
we can talk
match.
About Starks
I know-
and Hager
I know
great
and his
I know-
purple hat, but
I know people would be surprised to hear this, but I love Danielson and Bandito.
Bandito was great. I mean, he had a really good match with Jericho. Jericho enjoyed it, and then
Yeah.
I think shortly after that, Bandito signed with AEW. Um,
I'm liking this Danielson having a match every week like this and getting really good opponents.
I mean, as long as they're. I mean, next week we get Brian.
Well,
Cage.
next week's Brian Cage. Never mind. Spoke too soon.
Yeah, we had. Who do we have first? Konosuke Takeshita, and then we
Yeah.
had Bandito. You see,
Bandito,
you see
yeah.
how that rolled off the tongue this week?
There you go. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, the Bandito match with him was very good. And then MJF cut a promo after the match backstage, and he used the word fickle, which is a Danielson word. I remember him saying it when he went heel
He
in
was
his
a
last run.
Fickle.
he was a heel.
WWE.
Fickle.
Fickle.
The fact that he was a heel, but he was like, I want to save the planet and use his biodegradable belt. I'm like, looking back on it, you're like, why did we boo this guy?
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure MJF, that was a throwback to him, but he ended up saying, "You
Yeah.
may think you're a dragon, but not even a dragon is any match for the monster behind the mask." I guess MJF saying that he is, not showing his true colors yet.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, I guess it's up for interpretation, but that's what it sounded like to me. There was a match with Tony Storm versus Willow Nightingale. Afterwards, there was a really awkward heel turn from Saraya and
Yeah,
Tony Storm.
that was way too early for Saraya to be turning heel. I think.
It was just I don't know. I mean, last week they were baby faces, and there was like no hint that they would change. LA Knight on TV. Yeah, let me talk to you. Tim's like,
Tim's
who?
favorite.
So yeah, I mean, it literally seemed out of nowhere. They just started attacking Willow Nightingale. Like,
It really felt like to me like
who is? But I mean, they made it seem like Hikaru Shida was going to be the one to turn, and
Yeah.
Yo,
And
what
it
the
felt
hell?
to me like last week that they had a different plan going on, but
What?
I don't know.
Tim, don't spoil. We'll talk about next
I'm
week.
trying not to. There's some crazy stuff happening.
Yeah, I see. I'm losing my train of thought because I'm seeing right now. Keep moving forward. Okay, so main event of the show was Darby Allin versus Kushida, making his AEW Dynamite debut. He's not all elite. What? Oh. Okay.
Wait,
I want to watch it.
Nah, wait. Is that him? Oh, it is him. All right.
All right, we need to get back on track. Tim's making everyone want to look at the TV for Raw 30, and I just looked and I'm like, what the hell? Because this is my guy.
I realized he could do that because they cut all his hair off.
No, he didn't. Wow. It's like all the way down his ass.
No, he didn't? No, it did. Wow, never mind.
Tim's talking about Undertaker. Well, I don't want to spoil for next week, guys, so.
And he's like, I don't want to spoil, but The Undertaker's on TV.
Well, you guys start talking about his hair. Okay. Main event of Dynamite was Darby Allin versus Kushida for the TNT Championship. Kushida making his AEW Dynamite debut. He is not all elite. He was just doing a one-off, kind of like John Morrison did and other people in the past. Winner was Darby Allin, though. And,
I like Kushida, though.
Yeah, I mean, Kushida, I felt like, was kind of wasted in NXT.
Yeah.
They kind of like killed him off at the end in a way. He got attacked backstage, and then that was it. But speaking of Darby Allin, him and Sting teamed up with the Great Muta this past weekend in Japan for Great Muta's last match in a 6-man tag. I do not remember who they faced, but I read that Sting is probably not going to wrestle in Japan ever again after that match.
I mean,
that was the next send off to Japan of like his old rival turned friend.
Yeah, I think he's basically done. He said after this year, something like that.
I love Sting, dude. Sting loves pro wrestling. Anybody who disagrees, it's like, come on, dude. People always, like, he always gets a bad rap because he came in with Warrior and they were like two bodybuilders. But
you love Jimmy King. I love Jimmy King.
And that's all we'll say about that.
What's he say next? What's he say
No,
next?
that he doesn't say anything else next.
Let's just do the whole movie. So that wraps up Dynamite, though. Did you guys want to add anything before we move on to SmackDown? No,
right.
Is that no? Okay.
No, we're good. Sorry. The next line of what he says in that movie, though, is just not.
Okay. I forgot. But for some reason, I thought he was talking to Sting during that part. That's why I brought it up.
It was a different time, okay? It was a different time, man.
Goldberg and Sting though during that part.
No, it's David Arquette talking to Sting. No, it's the other guy, Sean.
Sting.
Yeah, it's Sting. Like his eyes.
He's talking to Sting, right? Is that when he hits him? He's like, "Hit me." Okay. God, yeah, I forgot about the next part. Okay, get off the rails, guys.
Watch that again now.
I bought it for Tim a few years ago.
I'll tell you,
great.
Jeremy, I'll tell you off the air what the next line is.
But Sting just punches him in the face. Okay, so SmackDown. SmackDown this week opened up with a tag team match. It was Sheamus and Drew McIntyre versus the Viking Raiders, who they've like done nothing with, especially Sarah. God, what's her name? What's her name, Jeremy?
Sarah Logan?
Logan. Yeah.
Sorry.
A very Viking-like name, I know.
Yeah, right.
So this week there was 3 matches, this being one of them. They started the SmackDown Tag Team Title Tournament. So this was the first match of that tournament. It is Sheamus, Drew McIntyre versus Viking Raiders. Winners were Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. I thought this was a good match. One of the better Viking Raiders matches I've seen in a little bit. I liked them a lot in NXT.
Yeah, I feel like they need to let them just go back to that.
I didn't watch them too much in ROH when they were the War Raiders. But yeah. I mean, I wish they would go back to how they were there. But yeah, it was either right before or right after this match. But yeah, Michael Cole sent WWE's condolences to the family, Jay Briscoe. Viking Raiders, who, like we mentioned before, were in Ring of Honor. They sported Dem Boys armbands in memory of Jay. And like Tim said, they also mentioned it in NXT live this week, which was the night of. NXT was on the air when the news broke, and
that's right. Yeah, Tuesday.
Booker T, and I can't remember the other announcer's name. Broke the news to the audience. So Sheamus and Drew McIntyre are moving forward in the SmackDown Tag Team Title Tournament. Then we had a backstage segment with Roman Reigns, which he got a little angry with Sami Zayn. Started questioning why, because the week before, Sami was told to go out there and face Kevin Owens by himself, and then the Bloodline showed up, and, Sami just wishes that he was, knew the plans beforehand, and so Roman was questioning why Sami's worried about running the plans past Sami, that he's a tribal chief, he shouldn't have to do that. Then we had a promo from LA Knight after his match against some jobber. That's all I can say. I don't remember the guy's match. His name was Greg Jones, actually. And so he cut a promo, and he promised to beat Bray Wyatt at the Rumble in whatever we still don't know is the first ever Pitch Black match. Mountain Dew Pitch Black.
The Mountain Dew match.
Yeah. And then, out of nowhere, up on the Titans run, the Firefly Funhouse returned. And one of the things Bray Wyatt said was, now that I think about it, you should be scared of the dark. He went right back in that character. It was almost like nothing had changed. I wouldn't be able to tell that promo any different from one beforehand.
It's kind of cool seeing all the different characters.
The puppets were alive again.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
I don't know that part. I wish that he would at least move it forward a little bit faster.
But it's like, if the Funhouse is back, are we going to see, like, is this going to be like a Mankind, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, Dude Love thing where we get the Fiend, we get Wyatt, we get
like in the Rumble,
Uncle Hal? Well, not in the Rumble, but I'm just saying, like, because if you have the Firefly Funhouse, then you have to have the Fiend. One doesn't really exist without the other, right?
I just want to know when Husky Harris is coming back.
Ooh, Huskus. Huskus the pig. That's his name.
Yeah, he should bring him back.
They need to bring him back.
Don't be afraid. Bring him back. Let Husky in.
But
yeah, probably the Fiend. It'll show up at the Rumble, I think.
I mean,
that'd be awesome.
Hopefully, something's got to happen during their match. But there was a funny moment during the Firefly Funhouse where Ramblin' and Rabbit admitted that LA Knight was cool, and then Sister Abigail told him to shut the fuck up. And then they were interrupted with Uncle Howdy, though, saying, "I told you so. All you needed was a little push."
Yeah.
So
I wonder how they're going to fit Alexa Bliss back into it too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, it needs to speed up.
Yeah. So we had another tag team tournament match. Los Lotharios, Tim's like who, versus Hit Row. Los Lotharios is Humberto Carrillo and his cousin Angel Garza. But the winners were Hit Row, so they will move on as well. Then we had a segment with Sonya Deville and Charlotte Flair. which I believe last week, if you remember me talking about, Sonya Deville attacked Charlotte Flair backstage. So Flair called out Deville. Deville came out. They went back and forth talking about who's entitled. And
I mean, there's no chance that Sonya Deville's going to win.
yeah, I mean, she was trying to sucker Sonya Deville trying to sucker Charlotte Flair into a match until Adam Pearce interrupted. But Sonya Deville got another cheap shot in before, walking away. So
yeah.
And then we had another tag team tournament match. Well, before that, actually, Paul Heyman was backstage and gave Roman Reigns advice, basically suggesting it's better to have Sami on their side than against them,
Yeah.
especially with the main event of the show being the contract signing with Kevin Owens. So then, like I said, we had a tag team championship tournament match. This was the Brawling Brutes, Butch and Ridge Holland versus Imperium, Giovanni Da Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser. Winners were Imperium, so they are going to move forward as well. We had a backstage promo from Karrion Kross, who's Tim's favorite wrestler right now.
Absolutely. World's biggest fan.
Absolutely.
So he cut a promo again on.
Love Karrion Kross.
So we got a promo again on Rey Mysterio, talking about how they'll compete with each other next week. I don't know if that means like in person or like one-on-one, or that means the Royal Rumble. But
yeah.
Then we had another SmackDown Tag Team Title Tournament match. This is the last one of the night. They did all the first rounds. Legado del Fantasma versus Maximum Male Models. Winners were Legado del Fantasma. After that, we had a Roman Reigns backstage segment with him and Sami, where Roman admitted that he was at fault and he understands that Sami's want for communication within the bloodline. And they told Sami to have like the jet fueled up and have everything ready to go, so that after the signing they could all just go. So then the main event of SmackDown was the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns contract signing. The Bloodline went out there, and it didn't take long for Kevin Owens to appear out of nowhere and take out the entire Bloodline. He stunned Roman Reigns and then powerbombed him through the table. And then I guess Sami Zayn ran out towards the end.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, but Kevin Owens signed the contract. Now, there's theories out there. I was telling Jeremy this, Tim. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Let me throw you this curveball. What if Kevin Owens didn't sign his name? He signed Sami Zayn's name on the contract.
That'd be pretty Booker Andy. That'd be good.
It's not. I'd love to take this theory as my own, but it's not mine. It's just something I saw online.
So it would be him at the Rumble then.
You should have just taken it as your own.
Yeah, they would announce it. They would announce it, and then they would announce like Kevin Owens, and then be like, "Oh, you're not facing me. You're facing Sami Zayn." And then Sami Zayn's out there with the Bloodline. Like what? And then, yeah. So that, I mean, I thought the whole thing was a very good segment. But that wrapped.
Yeah, I think that was the most I've seen like Roman actually, because he got a powerbomb through the table, and I don't think.
I mean, no one's
he's
really
beat up
taken
that much.
Roman in a while, except for like Lesnar.
Yeah,
the only one that's like kind of done that. So that wrapped up SmackDown. Well, let's quickly, as I say, get it over with. Get Rampage over with. We had Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Ethan Page. The winner was Jungle Boy. I can't remember if it was because of Matt Hardy or Matt Hardy was slow to do something to Jungle Boy. But basically, there's like friction with Matt Hardy and Ethan Page, and he was like, "I'm your friend,"
which I didn't know they were like a thing.
He is like in charge of his contract or something. Like he owns.
That's
him,
right. Yeah,
kind of
the
thing.
firm is. Yeah.
The Page like gave him I don't know. So Jungle Boy's kind of been on a roll lately, if you guys have noticed.
Yeah, they're doing Jungle Hook again on Wednesday.
Where Christian and Luchasaurus have been, I have no idea.
I feel like they're waiting until Christian's arm gets better.
You feel like what?
They're waiting until Christian actually heals. Because he can't, he went through Luchasaurus, and now it's like you gotta wait for Christian to be better.
So Eddie Kingston and Ortiz had a segment in the ring. There's been some friction between them, caused by the House of Black, where Ortiz is saying that Eddie's trying to hit women with the chair, like the week before, or they're not on the same page about things.
Women with
He's trying
the
to
chair.
hit women.
I don't know how I feel about this segment. It was just felt kind of awkward.
It was awkward, and then Eddie Kingston turned on Ortiz and hit Ortiz with a chair. Does this mean Eddie is now a heel?
But I'm cheering for Eddie.
I know. That's how
It's like, I don't know.
So Eddie turned on Ortiz. And then our main event was Daniel Garcia versus Action Andretti. Winner was Action Andretti. Garcia came out in some leather pants that apparently were given to him by Sammy Guevara. And Jericho's like, yeah, he looks like a real...
Sports entertainer?
Sports entertainer. I was going to say superstar, but... but that wraps up Rampage. I wanted to end the show with this news about The Rock. Okay.
Here we go.
So apparently they've known for a while now that The Rock didn't think he was going to be able to make Mania. Now, this week on Raw, I didn't mention, but Roman had said that... I think he said it on Smackdown, actually.
Yeah, they said it on
that
SmackDown.
this Raw that we're watching right now was going to have members of Bloodline throughout the history or something like that. And then they changed it to this segment of the trial of Sami Zayn. But it's been known that The Rock won't be tied into the WrestleMania plan, so that means the change of plans for this segment had nothing to do with that, so it makes me wonder why they changed the plans anyway. But the point about bringing up The Rock is I am personally disappointed that if it's true, if it's not some swerve, we're not getting The Rock versus Roman Reigns at the height of the Bloodline stuff. Is the Bloodline even going to be a thing next year when The Rock could possibly do the match? It's an easy storyline. Who's the real head of the table? And you do it when Roman's the head of the table, when he's holding both belts.
It sucks.
If they do it next year, it's going to feel so dragged out then.
It sucks that...
Well, they teased it too much this year.
Yeah.
The Rock teased it in his TV show.
Do you think it's the swerve, bro?
Bro? Because we'll find out Saturday, bro.
Listen, bro.
I don't know. I feel like The Rock is just too busy. He's actually too busy.
Do it for your cousin, Rock. What the hell?
Just get. I mean, I think it'd be if he's getting too up there in his opinion, just do one more match where your last match is with your family at WrestleMania.
Maybe he can come back.
It's ironic. I mean, I get that he's probably talking from a cardiovascular point of view, but it's I can't get into that shape by then. I'm like, bro, you're fucking jacked to the gills. Just
by the way, this match that was just on TV was very
for 3
lackluster.
Yeah, it was. But the last two matches The Rock had, I think he tore muscles each time, and he had get surgery, I think, on him. So I don't know. I think that's also a thing for him.
Sounds like CM Punk.
And he can't do it as much.
Well, with them announcing Cody Rhodes coming back at the Rumble, I mean, they announced it. Is it too obvious that he's going to be the winner?
He's going to win.
Make it special?
I mean, because it's Cody, it makes it special, I think.
I mean, they shouldn't have announced it, in my opinion, that he's coming back.
Yeah, I think they should have done
assumed he would, but they shouldn't have made it official.
Yeah, he could have done the thing when Jericho surprised it at 1 or 2.
Something, Cody Rhodes.
The lights go out, I'm home.
Okay, say Cody wins. Say Cody wins. Does Cody face Roman at Mania for both belts?
I still think it should be for one.
Okay, then how do you ever get the other belt off of Roman? I read things like they're just going to strip Roman. I was like, how are you going to do that? You got to make that make sense.
Yeah. I just feel like
unless he had to like attack an official, his character, and then like you're stripped of the title.
Well, like The Rock could come back and be like, "Well, I'm not fighting you," and then he can put over someone else, and then I don't know, still be involved somehow.
If you guys could pick two separate people to be champ, two belts that isn't Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes can be one. Who would you pick for two people?
Yeah, for me, it's Cody, and then I mean, honestly, I want to say Kevin Owens.
Okay. I'd say KO or Seth Rollins, this version of Seth Rollins. How about you, Tim?
Or Sammy.
Well, Cody is the obvious number one choice.
Tim's like AJ Styles.
I always can go for my boy.
You want one more run of that Georgia Bulldog.
Come here, you. All right, tonight we're doing a Styles Clash.
I want Finn to be champ again. I want Finn to be champ again. I want
Dominic.
No. Fuck no. Fuck no.
Dominique.
Also, they announced, I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was today, WWE 2K23's cover.
Yeah. Cena?
John Cena.
Like, why?
You got a big mouth on you, John Cena. Dude, those montages of Santino Morello making people break character.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
so good.
Picked on in school because you were a ginger.
DC's in TNA now.
Because you have no skin pigmentation.
Because you were a ginger.
He's the new director of Authority in TNA.
Oh my god.
Santino?
Is he talking that accent or is he talking his regular voice?
I didn't see it. I gotta look it up now.
I think I read his daughter wrestles. John Cena is on the cover of.
But don't you think they could have picked like anyone else?
I guess they could have, but I mean, they're
like
doing.
Roman?
I guess it's because they're doing a showcase for him.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, Roman with both belts makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, was Roman who was on the cover last year? Tim would know.
I have it right here. It's
was there like Mysterio was on it and
the game. Yeah, and first of all, here it is. It's Rey Mysterio.
One too.
This game sucks ass.
AEW Fight Forever.
No, I'm not even.
I can't wait.
No,
WCW Revenge.
No, that's what I play now. I'm back playing Revenge and all those games
on
because
N64.
On N64 because, dude, the 2019 was the last good 2K WWE game. They've been trash ever since.
And you know what? I can't wait till the AWS game comes out because that's on Xbox Game Pass, which I have. So
nice.
Just go straight on there.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're doing a showcase, and they're adding war games to the game now. Yeah. So now you can do a war games match.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of glitches with that.
Yes. Like getting back and forth to the ring.
Yeah.
Each ring.
Here's an idea.
There's like that in-between part.
I have this I have this idea for 2K. You know, I think I'm going to email them and pitch it. Just going to say something like, hey.
Email them.
Gamer Tim.
Hey,
new shirt coming.
Just make a good game. Why is it that hard?
Dude, here's the idea. Just make it good.
Just test out all those bugs before you put it out, you know? Like, then you're good.
Tim's like, how about you guys
you're overthinking
get rid of all the glitches.
Make a good game and then put it out. And then, oh my god, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, like crazy, right? Crazy idea, dude. You're ahead of the curve.
Mind blowing.
But okay, so yeah, that's it. And as Tim said, there's no classic show of the week. Just go check out some Briscoes matches.
Go watch the Briscoes.
See, it's coming out now.
I'm behind you.
Oh, all right.
I got to rewind this whole show. So.
But yeah, go watch Briscoe matches. You know, if that's going to wrap up episode 69, I guess I will sign us off here.
69.
All right. Anyways, thank you for.
These guys are coming out right now.
It is fitting. DX is walking out, so Andy, you can make a 69 joke. 69.
I got 2 words for you.
69.
69.
All right. Well. Okay. I'm gonna take
Also,
us out.
Kurt Angle's walking with them right now.
Is he really?
What?
Which
They're like,
doesn't
we
fit.
have daddy ass. I want a daddy ass chant.
I know.
In Philly.
I feel like Philly can do it.
Oh my God, Triple H is so bald. It's crazy.
So was Kurt Angle. I mean,
Yeah,
All right,
but
sorry,
like-
Tim. Go ahead, close out the show.
Well, 69, stay alive. We will be back next week with episode 70, a less perverted episode title. And everybody have a great week. And, I think, go if there's somebody that you haven't talked to in a while and you want to tell them that you love them, you should probably call them and tell them that, because you never know if you're going to get a chance to do that again. So a little bit of perspective this week. Love your friends. Love your family. Don't take people in your life for granted. Everybody have a great week. Go watch Briscoe matches, and we'll catch you next week with episode 70. Have a good one.